هادي له ولا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. نشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد. يا أيها الذين آمنوا يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى في القرآن الكريم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. تبارك الذي بيده الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا وهو العزيز الغفور. My dear brothers and sisters, isn't it wonderful that Allah the Almighty has given us another day of Yawm al-Jum'ah? Praise Him. And if we have done only this today, alhamdulillah, we've done something great. We praise Allah, we must praise Him as He ought to be praised. We believe in Allah. We seek Allah's guidance and His protection. Believe me, brothers and sisters, in this day, we really need Allah. We depend upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the best way to depend upon Him is to follow Al-Quran and the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. No, brothers and sisters, he whom Allah guides cannot be misled. Cannot be misled if He guides you. And I don't care how many books you have, how many knowledgeable people you know, you can never be guided if Allah doesn't desire for you to be guided. I seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the weakness of myself. I need to do that. To give khutbah, I really need Allah's help in giving this khutbah. Because you don't need Siraj Wahhaj, you need Allah and Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. May Allah's peace and blessings be upon Muhammad alayhi salatu wa salam and his noble companions whom we love dearly. I feel so blessed that Allah has given to us Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu and Umar and Uthman and Ali and Aisha and Fatima and Khadija and Abu Huraira, Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhum, all of them. May Allah be pleased with all of them, for we have learned so much from them who followed Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And brothers and sisters, should we not include among those that we ask Allah's blessing Imam al-Bukhari, for leaving to us thousands of ahadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Should we not be thankful for Imam Muslim, Tirmidhi, Abu Dawood, Nisa'i, Ibn Majah, and others who have left a wealth of hadith for us? I'm very thankful to Allah today. And also, brothers and sisters, you, the believers, may Allah's mercy be upon you. Every one of you. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if my dua means anything, oh Allah, bless these Muslims who struggle for you. Bless them with your rahmah. We are in desperate need of the rahmah, the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Brothers and sisters, I want to leave with you beautiful words of Allah. The best speech is Al-Kitab, Kitab Allah, the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Tabaraka alladhi biyadihi al-mulk. Glory be to Him, Allah, in whose hand is the dominion of the heavens and the earth. Everything is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Tabaraka alladhi biyadihi al-mulk. وهو على كل شيء قدير. He has power over everything. الذي خلق الموت. He who created death, والحياة, and life. ليبلغكم أيكم ليبلغكم أيكم أحسن عملا وهو العزيز الغفور. It is He who created death and life to test you. الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا وهو العزيز الغفور. Created death and life to test you who's best in conduct. He is powerful and He is forgiving. Brothers and sisters, today I come before you in this member to say that every one of you and me will be tested by Allah. In fact, we have been created to be tested. I just want to tell you a few tests that we're going to encounter soon, if you haven't done so already. I was blessed, many of you know, last week to go to London, England, where I gave many talks to many Muslims and non-Muslims throughout the city. While I was there, I was with a good friend of mine, Sheikh Jamal Badawi, scholar in Islam. And Allah put us together. We stayed together from the beginning of the trip until the end of the trip. And we didn't stay in any hotel rooms. We stayed in the homes of believers. Sheikh Jamal and myself stayed together. And I can't help but notice that every home I went into, the believers there suffered from a great trial from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One household we stayed, a man and his wife, beautiful Muslims, had 3 children. And every one of them had some major defect. Major. Such a degree that Allah made me, for the whole trip, think about that brother and his wife and their children. Their condition was so severe that one day I went into the house of his brother, and his brother mentioned their condition. He began to cry. And I said, what a powerful mother that is. Here she had a baby that she had to be with, take care of 100%. 4-year-old child. She has to do everything for everything. And I said, what a strong woman. What a strong Muslim woman. But the last day that Sheikh Jamal and myself were there, she broke down. Why? Why? I prayed to Allah so much. Why? And I quoted to her ayah from Quran. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم تبارك الذي بيده الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا وهو العزيز الغفور. Dominion is in the hands of Allah. Blessed is He. He has dominion over everything. He has power over everything. He created death and life to test you. Here's your test. Brothers, sisters, we're going to be tested. Why? Because Allah mentioned in the Quran so that He may know those who believe. Allah doesn't have to test you for Him to know. He knows already. But you learn from this ayah, Allah never punishes you based on what He knows until you execute after being tested. Allah is not going to punish you because He knows that if He gives you a test, you will fail and therefore He punishes you. No, He gives you the test first, allows you to pass or fail, and then based upon your reaction to the test, Allah gives you a great reward or He punishes you. But know for a fact you're going to be tested. Brothers who are married, don't you know there's a possibility that you as a Muslim man may be tested by a non-Muslim woman? No, not me. You know, don't know. Don't you know, brother? Your married wife may be tested by another brother, Muslim or non-Muslim. No, not me. How do you know? You don't know. Don't you know you may be tested with your children? They may leave the deen. You may be tested by that. You may be tested by your wife who leaves the deen, or husband who leaves the deen, parents who leave the deen. You may be tested to lose your job. Been on a job for many years, and you may lose it. Test. You may be tested with poverty. Allah may test you with poverty. Because you lose your job, don't have no money now. You may be tested. Allah may test you to lose your home. You might be evicted from your house. You may have to live in a shelter for a while. Allah tests you in a shelter. You look at these people on the street corner, you say, not me, never. You never know. Got a good, secure city job, federal job, state job. You never know how Allah tests you. Take from you your income. Take from you your business. Take from you your homes, your cars, your friends. You may be tested with loneliness. No, not me. You never know. You may even be tested with Muslims. You see, brothers and sisters, you expect things from non-Muslims. But when the test of loyalty comes from those around you, close to you, then that's a big test. But know that you're going to be tested. But Allah don't only test you with negative things, Allah tests you with positive things. Maybe Allah gives you $1 million, what you want, you're looking for it. You want money. Maybe Allah give it to you, but that money may be a big test for you. Maybe you can't handle it. Allah gonna give you a test of trust. Your brother's gonna trust you. Say, brothers, listen to me. I'm gonna loan you $100,000. Protect my money. Protect my interest. It's a test. Some people can't handle money at all. Giving money, can't handle it. Test. So, for Reverend Jesse Jackson, obviously he was tested by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everybody knows that Zionism is racism. Zionism is oppression. Everybody knows that. Poor Jesse goes shamefully in front of the Jews, equates Zionism with liberation. What's the matter with you? Test it. Why? What is it that you want, Jesse? What is it that you'll sell yourself for? Is it popularity you want? You want people to applaud you, recognize you, you're somebody special? What is it that you want, Jesse? That you sell yourself out to some Zionist Jews. I'm not against Judaism. We're not. We're not against all Jews, not Muslims, no. But every Muslim is against Zionism. And for Jesse, liberation. Testing. You know, not only is you as individuals are tested, communities are tested, masjids are tested. Some masjids will lose their imams through tests, through death, through anything. So the community will be tested. Nations are tested. I was on the plane coming back from London. While I was in London, I picked up a newspaper. I think it's called the Financial Times of London. And I noticed they had about 3 pages talking about a Muslim country, Bahrain. And before I tell you what I read in the newspaper about Bahrain, let me tell you something about Bahrain. The entire population of Bahrain in the Persian Gulf area, oil-producing country, 100% Muslim. Everybody in Bahrain Muslim, inshallah. So, today, Bahrain receives billions of dollars from oil. But you know, one day the oil's going to run out. Yeah. It's going to run out. So Allah tests them today with oil. It's going to run out one day. And they recognize that. They say by the turn of the century, their oil will be complete. Depleted. No more oil. So therefore, they know that. They're not stupid. They know that. So therefore, they have to diversify their money. Invest their money somewhere, right? To make money. Because the oil money is going to run out. So you have to invest it somewhere else. And I was shocked to learn what they have in Bahrain to make money. It's a place where you have tourist trade. People come in there, spend money. In some countries, they depend on tourism. So Bahrain now is becoming the tourist attraction in the Middle East. People come from Saudi Arabia, they come from Kuwait, they come from the Persian Gulf to go to Bahrain for a day, for a weekend, for a week, for a month. Why? Because what's in Bahrain? What's in Bahrain? Casinos, liquor, wine, whiskey, women. Come to Bahrain and party. And you know what? They're coming by the planes load. Why? Everybody's tested. Gotta get the money, man. Got to get the money. Any way you can, by any means necessary. So now, what was the country? And the sad thing about it, Muslims come there to party. What happened to you? Couldn't pass the test. So the same test that you have as an individual, the same test they have as a nation. Some of you. Brother came to me the other day, said, Brother Imam, I need me a job, man. I ain't got no money. And several of my old friends suggesting that I sell a little drugs. But brother, drugs is not an option. You don't even think about selling no drugs. Get yourself a toothbrush and you clean out toilet bowls before you sell drugs. Get out there and sell incense before you sell drugs. Don't wash windows. Don't pump gas. You even take a speed to wipe windows before you sell drugs. But you're going to be tested now. Everybody. And you know what? My test is not your test. Everybody got a different test. And you know what? Allah means to shake you. Yeah. He wants to shake you up, man. Shake you up. See what's in you. A few weeks ago, I was back in my office one night after Isha. And I felt sick to my stomach. And I called my family and said, you know, I don't feel well. I think I'm going to lay down for an hour or so before I come home. This is late at night, near 11 o'clock. And before I can hang up the phone, I felt as if I was going to throw up. Vomit. And Allah knows I hate to throw up. Ever since I was a little boy. Oh, Allah, please don't make me throw up. But as I was speaking, I said, uh-oh. Let me run to the bathroom. I know I'm going to throw up. And I didn't want to throw up. Don't make me throw up. I don't like it. I don't like the feeling. You know what? I never made it out my office. And after all these years, finally, the Muslim mature man, I have a different feeling. Now I love to throw up. Why? Because even though you don't like it, Allah created it. It's a mercy, it's a rahmah. You don't like it, you don't like the feeling, but when it's over, how good you feel. Why you feel so good? Because that which was inside of you causing the poison, Allah brought it out of you. You don't want it to come out, you want it to stay in there, but Allah has something else in mind. Bring it out. Look at it, man. Understand what it is within you that makes you sick. Allah has to bring it up, so He shakes you. It's that zilzillah. The zilzal is shake up, the earthquake. Why? So the earth begins to show what's hidden comes out now. Allah does it. He shakes you off the foundation. He shakes you up, turn you upside down. Why? He wants to get inside of you, to get out what's in it. سبحانك الذي بيده الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا وهو العزيز الغفور. Blessed is He in whose hand is the dominion of the heavens and earth. He has power. He has power. He alone has power over all things. He created death. He created life to test you, man. To see who's best in conduct. He is powerful and He's forgiven. Alhamdulillah. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى صحبه أجمعين. أما بعد. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, let us prepare ourselves, Muslims, for our individual test and our collective test. I just want to give you some information in case you didn't know. The country that has the largest Catholic population of Catholics, Christians, is Brazil. And Pope Paul II is very much interested in Brazil. So many Catholics there. While it is the most populated Catholic nation, did you know that every year 600,000 Catholics leave the church? Leave the church. Where are you going? Islam is on the rise. Masjids all throughout Brazil. Open, ready for the taking, ready for somebody to go there and just give guidance. Running from the church. Not so much because of the brilliance of the Islam that they see, but because of the chaos that they see in the church. Now they're looking for alternatives. All somebody has to do now is go out there and get them. But on the one hand, people leaving church, becoming Muslims leaving the masjid. Not necessarily becoming Christians, but just leaving the masjid. Because of the test, can't take it. And so they leave. Well, I want to leave you with this, I think that inshallah should help us. When I was in London, I was in a car with some brothers, and we were driving past some of the stores in London. We said, oh, this store is owned by Muslims, that center there is owned by Muslims, that bank owned by Muslims, that hotel owned by Muslims. And you know, in London, the Muslims are very visible. You can see the signs of Islam. We have 6 million Muslims in America. They have only 3 million, but their 3 million is more apparent because a lesser population. Only 59 million population in Great Britain, 3 million of them Muslims, so every block you go, you see Muslims. One area, around 7 masjids, and one little area itself. So meat market, inshallah, halal meat market, 2 blocks away, mashallah, halal meat market, and just Muslims own a lot. You in one stretch about 5 blocks. Everywhere you saw the Muslims owning everything. Everywhere you look. So you would think that such visible signs of Islam would be really strong. There's a difference between what appears on the outside and what's on the inside. See, because on the outside, everything always looks fine. You see believers, and on the outside, everything looks so nice. Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam, but you don't know what's internal. What's going on, the rumblings inside. And so, brother told me, he said, Imam, you know, we had one of the biggest international banks. You remember, called BCCI. Had a big scandal last year. BCCI. International bank. Owned by mostly Muslims. Billions of dollars of assets. But fraud caused it to be closed down. So brother Imam, one of the brothers told me in the car, he said, Brother Imam, my uncle had 500,000 pounds in the bank. 500,000 pounds, which is about almost $1 million US. And he lost every penny. His life savings, everything, man. Can you imagine you one day got 500 pounds in the bank, secure, future look bright, house paid for, everything nice, easy, and all of a sudden Allah wipes it out, and you have nothing after having had so much. See, Allah can do that with you. Well, I'll put it in my house under the pillow. Allah put a fire on the house. I'll bury it in the earth. Somebody come and steal it. I'll keep it on me. Somebody rob you. Allah does it. That's where He is. He's going to test you. Don't get caught up with any property, because Allah going to test you with it. The more hung up you get with it, the more Allah going to test you with it. Brother told me, he said, you know, Imam, there's another cousin of his who had all of his life savings in the bank. One day he decided to pay the cash. He went to the bank, got his money out, took everything out. The next day, the bank closed it, and everybody else lost, but he gained because he decided to pay the cash on that day. And that day, something made him take his money out the bank. What was it? It's not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He does it like that. Some he tests you with money, some he tests with poverty. Some he tests you with a husband, some he tests you with no husband. Some he tests you with a good wife, some he tests you with no wife. Some he tests you with a good wife and a bad wife. He tests you with no children, he tests you with a lot of children, he tests you with one child, in the faith and out the faith. Why? Because Allah wants to shake you. Why? I get to my conclusion right now. You know, brothers and sisters, when your test comes, ask yourself, am I closer to Allah as a result of my test? If you can say yes, I'm closer to Allah, then you pass the test. I want to be a believer. Do you think that you'll be left alone on merely saying that you believe and you'll not be tested? No, you're going to be tested. Allah don't want lip profession. He don't want you to say, I believe. The desert Arabs say, we believe. Say, you don't believe. Say, rather, you've submitted. You've taken Shahada. You call yourself Muslim, but faith has not yet entered jihad, man. Because faith is here. Taqwa, hahuna, taqwa, hahuna, taqwa, hahuna. Faith here, taqwa, the fear of Allah. Here, in your breast, in your chest. So now you're going to be tested. And the biggest test is going to come those who are nearest around you. Not from some foreign source. We expect America to come down on Muslims. We expect it. But when Joseph had to face his brothers, then that's a bit much. When the son of Adam killed his own brother, that's a bit much. And that's the difficulty. So brothers and sisters, I say this as I conclude.